Dear learner, my name is Dr. Mohammad Nazim, faculty in the Department of Library and Information Science, Aligarh Muslim University. We are discussing information retrieval system, and in the previous lecture, we have discussed the concept, objective, and functions of information retrieval system. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the nature and evolution of information retrieval system. So by the end of this lecture, a student will be able to explain the nature and characteristic of information retrieval system. They will be able to describe different stages in the evolution of information retrieval system. They will be able to compare the features of different generation of information retrieval system, and finally they can analyze the impact of technological development on the development of information retrieval system. So just start with the nature of information retrieval system. Different information retrieval systems are designed to serve a specific purpose, and for that different kinds of information retrieval systems have been developed. We can see the different categories of information retrieval system. For example, reference, document, text or information retrieval system, multimedia retrieval system, and multimedia retrieval system include image retrieval, audio speech retrieval, video retrieval, and wave information retrieval system, as well as domain specific retrieval system that cover specific subject and domain, and discovery system, that is a multiple information retrieval system can be searched using a single search. So we will try to discuss and describe the features of different kinds of information retrieval system. So reference, document and text information retrieval systems. So reference retrieval system means that surrogate records which are used for bibliographic control, such as library catalog and bibliographies, are called reference retrieval. Only we can retrieve the bibliographic detail of the actual document. So such kinds of systems provide the retrieval of only the references, and reference include the bibliographic detail, that is title, author, subject, location of the document. They also provide bibliographic information including citations and metadata rather than the actual content of the document. When we talk about the document retrieval system, the focus of these systems on locating relevant files or documents within a collection of documents based on putting a query using keyword and subject heading. They provide entire document, maybe in the physical format, maybe in the PDF format, along with the reference retrieval. So we can retrieve the reference as well as actual document, but sometimes we can retrieve only the reference, that is the bibliographic record. We can understand by using an example of library catalog. If we are searching online public access catalog or the printed library catalog, then a particular record of the document is our reference. And for actual document, we need to go to the shelf to locate that document. So reference retrieval system provide only the bibliographic detail, whereas document retrieval system provide the actual document or complete document along with the bibliographic detail. And information retrieval systems are different from these two categories of system. These systems focus on finding occurrences of text or specific information within documents or files. Instead of just telling you which file contains your keyword, they pinpoint the exact occurrence of text or information within those files. So specific information from a document, if we are able to retrieve, it is called information retrieval system. So we can compare these three categories of retrieval system, that is text retrieval system, document retrieval system, and reference retrieval system. The primary goal of reference retrieval system is finding bibliographic detail that is data about a particular work. In case of document retrieval, we are able to find and return entire file, that is the complete document. And when we talk about text retrieval system, that is information retrieval system, where we can find specific content or specific information from a complete document. When we talk about the output type, in case of reference retrieval, we can retrieve metadata, that is title, author, year, and citation. But in case of document retrieval, we can retrieve a PDF file or Word document or even a physical copy of a book in case of traditional information retrieval system. And in case of text retrieval system, a specific paragraph or chapter strings can be character strings can be identified in the text information retrieval system. The use cases of these kinds of system may be different. In case of reference retrieval, the purpose is checking if a library owns a particular book or finding related documents. In case of document retrieval, we can download a full technical manual or complete article. And in case of text retrieval, we can extract a specific legal statute from a massive code. So another kinds of information retrieval system may be multimedia retrieval system, and they are specialized information retrieval system in handling non-textual format of information and data. And they are specifically designed to manage and search non-textual data such as images, videos, audios by analyzing their content rather than relying solely on text-based keyword. So image retrieval, audio speech retrieval, and video retrieval system come under this category. Image retrieval means we are searching for images based on visual features of the metadata and analyze the image itself for visual features like color, texture, shape, or key points. Audio or speech retrieval system retrieves audio files or identifies spoken content which are stored in the form of a file. And these kinds of system uses automatic speech recognition to convert spoken words into text for indexing purposes. And video retrieval system indexes and retrieve video contents, and they are useful for extracting representative frames to apply image retrieval techniques. So one of the major challenges in these kinds of system is that the indexing of these kinds of document. Image indexing, audio indexing, and video indexing is possible that we need to analyze the image, we need to recognize the audio, and we can just try to recognize the video of a particular on a particular topic. So then extracting relevant metadata for that particular file, that is the important thing. And today, by the support of artificial intelligence, that's become very much easy. Another category of information retrieval system include web information retrieval, domain-specific retrieval, and discovery systems. So web information retrieval, they are designed for vast and heterogeneous and dynamic nature of the internet to find general answer to specific web page. And these kinds of system uses crawling or spiders, indexing and link-based authority signals, that is page rank, to determine the relevance. So millions of pages are available, millions of web pages are there, and retrieving information from these pages is very difficult. But web information retrieval system basically extract the important words from the web pages using the system like crawling and spiders. They try to extract the relevant keywords from the web pages and included these keywords into the inverted file of the information retrieval system. And on the basis of the frequency of the occurrence of the keywords, the page ranking is possible and the relevance is also determined. When we talk about the domain-specific retrieval system, They are designed for a specialized field where precision is important, and a specific domain-based or subject-specific information retrieval system can be designed. Example may be the medical and clinical research. And these kinds of information retrieval system utilizes specialized terminologies like controlled vocabulary tools, taxonomies, and entity extraction to ensure high recall and precision. Recall and precision are two important factors for evaluating the performance of information retrieval system. Recall and precision both are important. Recall means retrieving maximum relevant documents, and precision means retrieving specific results or specific information from the large amount of information. The next category of information retrieval system is the discovery system, and they are basically unified platform that allow user to search and access diverse, scattered, and often heterogeneous information sources through a single search interface. So multiple information retrieval system can be integrated into a one system where instead of searching different kinds of information from different platforms, a single search interface can be used to search different categories of information. And today we have different systems, for example, discovery service from EBSCO, and these kinds of system can be integrated with the library, where the library's local databases like online public access catalog, like institutional repositories, and all the subscription resources or databases, and the sources which are available in public domain, that is called open access sources, they can be integrated together, and a single search interface can be provided to the users, and user can put a query into that interface and will be able to identify and locate the sources from multi sources of information. So this is the concept of discovery-based information retrieval system. Now come to the types of information retrieval system. The information retrieval systems are designed keeping in mind different factors. An information retrieval system can be categorized as document-oriented system, user-oriented system, and query-based system. When the focus is on document and their representation, and the emphasis on indexing and classification, so they are called document-oriented system. And the example of such kinds of system is traditional library catalog. When we talk about user-oriented system, their focus is on user needs and behavior, and that is very important. We need to identify the information needs of the user and how they are interacting, how they are searching information. And then we need to give the emphasis on the personalization and user satisfaction. And the example is modern search engines and recommender system, where they are trying to provide the facility and personalization aspects for searching information, and recommender systems provide the facility of recommending the relevant and related results to the users. Query-based system retrieved where the retrieval is based on user query, and the system matches query with stored data. And web-based online database like Scopus are the examples of query-based system. Now come to the evolution of information retrieval system. The evolution of information retrieval system has transitioned from physical organization of document to the intelligence automated system, where the need to manage an increasing amount of information and improve search accuracy. There is a process of evolution of information retrieval system from the manual retrieval system to mechanized information retrieval system to computerized retrieval system, web-based retrieval system, and finally AI-driven retrieval systems. And we can see how the different kinds of information retrieval system evolved during different time period. So if we try to see the manual information retrieval system, they are relied on the card catalog and printed catalog, and they were existed during 1950s or before that. The libraries are one of the important example of manual information retrieval system where documents are acquired on the basis of the needs of the users, and they are basically the technical processing is carried out on each document. That is, we need to prepare the card catalog or even printed indexes, and documents are organized on the shelf, and on the basis of the searching of the catalog, user can search a relevant document from the library. Then a next phase is the mechanized information retrieval system, and these kinds of system uses different kinds of mechanical device like punch card, like microfilm, and these are emerged in the during the period of 1960s to 70s. Then with the invention of computer, new category of systems were evolved, and they are known as computerized information retrieval system. And these kinds of systems relied on the online databases and search engines. And the period of evolution of these kinds of systems during the 1980s to 2000. Now, a new development happened during 2010 to present the AI-based information retrieval system. And these kinds of systems are based on the technology which is known as natural language processing and machine learning. So we will try to discuss the important features and the limitations of each kinds of information retrieval system which have been evolved during different time period. So manual retrieval system, where the information in manual retrieval system is organized and retrieved manually using traditional physical tool. The important features of these kinds of information retrieval system is the card catalog, printed indexes, bibliographies, and in these kinds of system, the all kinds of technical processing like acquisition, organization, and indexing is done by human indexers and cataloger. So they are human-based, they apply the human-based processing, and they use the classification and cataloging as a tool for the organization of information or organization of information sources. The limitation of these kinds of information retrieval system is that they are slow and time consuming, because doing the technical process, it takes much time to do the technical processing like classification and cataloging, prepare the catalog card for each document, then try to file card in the cabinet, and then try to arrange the document on the shelf. So the process of technical processing as well as searching process by the user is time consuming. Another important limitation of manual retrieval system is the limited search capability, because we can search a specific document by searching the catalog or searching the printed indexes, maybe the printed abstracting journals or indexing journals, or maybe in case of libraries, if we try to find a document, find a book, then we need to search the printed catalog. So the capabilities was limited, searching capabilities was limited to these kinds of information retrieval system. Remote access was not possible because we need to physically visit to the library and information center to find the desired information and desired document. And in such kinds of system, it is very difficult to manage the large collection of information. So example of these kinds of manual retrieval system include library catalogs and printed indexes. Now, the manual information retrieval system replaced by mechanized information retrieval system, and they use mechanical or electromechanical devices to assist information processing and retrieval. So important features of these mechanized systems are partial automation, that is not fully manual, not fully automated, but in between two, that is partial automation process. And they were based on keyword-based retrieval system, where keywords are assigned to documents, and user can also pick up certain keywords to find the relevant document from the mechanized information retrieval system. And they use punch card and microfilm as a storage system of document, and they are a little bit faster than the manual information retrieval systems. When we talk about the limitation of these kinds of system, still we need to depends on manual efforts, and the storage capacity is limited in these kinds of system, and there is no need of any kinds of intelligent processing. If we talk about the example of such kind of mechanized information retrieval system, Uniterm system and age notched card are one of the important example of these kinds of mechanized information retrieval system. The computerized information retrieval system emerged during 1960s to 1970s with the development of digital technologies and digital databases and online vendor access. These kinds of systems started using computer databases and the software application for storing, organizing, and retrieving information from the large collection of documents. And these kinds of developments happen when the vendors and the publishers started converting their printed indexes and abstracting services into online databases. And libraries started subscribing these kinds of data online databases for their users. So important features of these kinds of computerized retrieval systems are high speed of retrieval, because we can easily retrieve the document from the large amount of documents. The capacity of storage is larger because the computer can store huge amount of data and information. And it provides the Boolean searching facility that we can combine two or more keywords by using Boolean logic like and, or, and not. And the indexing is also possible automated. We need not to assign the keyword and subject heading to every document. The keywords can be extracted from the title, from the abstract, or from the full text of the document. And this is called derived indexing system that we will discuss in the later classes. And in these kinds of system, remote access is possible. We can access information from these kinds of information retrieval system from anywhere. But we have to connect with the internet. So there are some limitation also, because high cost is involved in the development and use of these kinds of computerized information retrieval system. And for the development of these kinds of system, and as well as for the use of that kinds of system, user also need technical skills, as well as those who want to develop these kinds of system, they also require technical skills. And still there is an information overload and difficult to include each and everything in the computerized retrieval system. So what are the example of computerized information retrieval system? Online public access catalog is the best example. However, there are some more examples like digital libraries in the today's environment, and Medline, which is one of the important database in the field of medical sciences, and it was for a long time accessible through the online vendors. The web-based information retrieval systems are internet-based systems used to providing global information access. And important features of these web-based information retrieval systems are the search engine and online databases. They are relied on automatic indexing. The simple and interactive search interface is available in these systems. And web-based retrieval systems are useful and important because they provide multimedia retrieval. We can access the images, we can access the audio and video in these kinds of retrieval system. And basically they are personalized, they offer the personalized search result based on the user history, preferences and location. One of the example of history is that suppose you are searching web-based retrieval system, then your behavior can be tracked by the information retrieval system, and in future they will try to provide information in accordance with the history that they have captured. Another example of location is that suppose you are searching University Grants Commission, a website using these kinds of system, then If you are sitting in India, you will be able to find UGC of India at the top. But if you are sitting in UK, then the user in UK can find the University Grants Commission of UK on the top. The reason is that because they can track the location of the user who are interacting with the web-based information retrieval system. So there are different examples of web-based information retrieval system like Google as a search engine, Scopus as a scholarly database, PubMed as a scholarly database, and Shodh Ganga. Shodh Ganga is a repository of thesis and dissertation maintained by InfluMnet Center. So they are basically web-based information retrieval system, can be used by any user all over the world, and they can interact with the system and can find the required information from them. The last category of information retrieval system which was evolved recently is the AI-driven retrieval system. They are based on artificial intelligence and natural language processing, and they can understand user intent and context rather than just matching keyword. And ultimately, they improve the accuracy, relevance, and the user experience of information retrieval systems. Some of the important features of these kinds of systems include semantic search, that you can put your query in the natural language. Then the retrieval system can understand your intent and your context and try to retrieve the results in accordance with that particular query or intent and the context. They use natural language processing, need not to use the controlled vocabulary. Retrieval is personalized, and we can just do the conversation with the search system. We can put our query in the natural language, and you can define the query. Then on the basis of that, they will give you the information and the results. But it has certain limitation, bias in algorithm, high computational cost for that, and there are some certain concerns related to the privacy and ethical concern. Because we retrieve the information from these kinds of retrieval systems, sometimes they track your personal information and may be misused by the other people. So example of such kinds of system include artificial intelligence search engines. Most of the search engines today using artificial intelligence capability. ChatGPT is one of the example of such kinds of retrieval system where you can put any query, you will be able to find the information from that system. And a recommendation system that just recommend you on the basis of your information, they can recommend you certain results that may be useful to the users. So with this, now we want to conclude. Information retrieval system, as we discussed, information retrieval system act as a bridge between the information source and user, and their nature is dynamic and user-centered. An understanding of the nature and types of information retrieval system is important for designing the effective information retrieval system. We have seen that information retrieval system evolved from physical document retrieval to relevant information retrieval and then intelligent knowledge discovery using artificial intelligence and natural language processing. Each stage of development and evolution improved the speed, access, and accuracy as well as user convenience in the process of searching information from the information retrieval system. Modern information retrieval system focus not only on retrieving document, but on understanding users' need, the context, and the meaning. So this is very important because of the evolving technology like artificial intelligence. We can interact with the information retrieval system just as we are interacting with the pupil. And we are able to find information which is relevant to us. So with this, these are the references, a list of references, list of books that can be studied for further details, and thank you very much.